This is the All Things Nerd Podcast, Season 4, Episode 32. On tonight's cast, we are talking about Space Wars. It's not a really bad cheesy B sci-fi film. It's something else. We're also going to be talking about Mulan hitting the coming out earlier, but at a cost. And the reboot of Ren and Stimpy with a lot more stuff to talk about. So kick back, enjoy the show. Here's the intro. Hello to all the Geek Enthusiasts and Nerd Aficionados. This is Mess 5150 welcoming you back to another All Things Nerd podcast. This podcast is brought to you by Malice-Corp.com. Head on over to Malice-Corp.com to catch any previous episodes or check in on what other things we have going on in the world of all things nerd. This is also recorded every Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific time, 11 p.m. Eastern on Twitch at twitch.tv/Malice Corp. We do that so that you can come interact and be a part of the show on the live chat as well. Give us your thoughts and what you have to say about what we're talking about. So, and you can sometimes see our producer in the chat room as he has joined, saying he will enjoy nothing. So thanks for that.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. So thank you guys.
It's that backing that we love so much and appreciate, man. It just motivates us.
That's why we're here every week. Yeah.
The beatings will commence.
That's what I was going to say. The whippings.
The beatings will continue until morale improves. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, let's get this kicked off. We start this show out with the thing that we call Get Your Geek On.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Getting your geek on is what we've been doing to pass the time. Things that we think you should be checking out. Things that we think that you shouldn't waste your time on because not everybody has all the time in the world. If you do have all the time in the world and you figured out how to get a time turner or a DeLorean or even H.G. Wells' time machine.
What about Tina Turner?
Tina Turner doesn't do anything with time. Does she have a song with time?
Cher can turn back time.
Yeah,
well, I don't know. Wait,
you know what?
Hold on a second. I think Tina Turner has something to do with time because how old she is not looking at age. She's doing all right.
I just want her to call me Raggedy Man.
Her legs never age for sure. So
her voice doesn't either. Shoot.
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
Basically, what I'm saying is it means that you've taken control of time to be able to do everything. Well, not everybody can do everything. So we like getting thoughts from you of things that we should be checking out or things that we shouldn't check out, as well as giving our thoughts of things that you should be checking out. So, and that's how we also introduce who's here on the show. So my co-host, first and foremost, Masonic Vader, what have you been geeking out on?
Ooh, it's been a geek out week. So as you guys know, I started watching Umbrella Academy last week, and it was last Saturday, maybe. I don't know. Watched the first episode in the morning. Was like, okay, this could be a great episode. Was planning on watching an episode or two and Saturday evening. Stayed until like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, binge the entire freaking season. Holy crap. That is I never thought a season could be better than the first one, and I do feel that the way they did this season surpasses the first season. And I'm not giving any spoilers away, but I could tell you that they did a great job with moving with Klaus character, also number 7's character. They did a great job of really making those turn into something better than last season. Also for Netflix, for all you old school 80s Transformer fans, they have I think it's a 6-part miniseries. Hopefully it'll be a second season comes out. It's a Fall of Cybertron. Definitely check it out. It's sad thing is it doesn't have any of the voices like Peter Cullen or anything like that, but the series itself, they're about 25-minute episodes. They are worth watching. It's definitely a good series to watch. And like I said, I hope a second season comes around. Cheers.
Well, it is a trilogy. They didn't have 6-part trilogy. That would not make sense. So I'm assuming.
Well, it was 24-minute episodes. They didn't do it in 3. There was 6 different episodes. Yeah,
the War for Cybertron trilogy or something like that. So
I was expecting 3. I got 6. They were 24 minutes. I'm getting more later. Thank God. Cheers.
So
Moving
I'm
on.
assuming this is the first one. Yeah, and I didn't listen to anything you had to say about Umbrella Academy because I haven't watched yet. And
No, I didn't. I didn't say anything. There was nothing. You know me. I don't like to give out stuff. We got a week before we get to give it out, so you're good. I just binged it in a crazy amount of time.
Also joining us on the cast, we have IC Zora. What you been geeking out on, IC?
Continuation of my geek out from last week. I've got about an episode and a half left of The Expanse season 4. It's just really, really solid writing. It's got a great like creepy kind of feel. It's Firefly meets Event Horizon, but a little bit of Interstellar in there too. It's really good.
Did it last longer than the season?
Season 5 should be airing this fall.
Oh yeah. So it was on. Was it on Sci-Fi originally?
It was on Sci-Fi originally, and then it went
Got
to
canceled,
Amazon.
And then Amazon said, "Hey, we'll take that." And
you really notice after season 2, the amount of swearing really picks up.
You know what's also creepy? The camera angle that I see is at right now, with him wearing that knitted hat and it being dark, it's like he's in a cell in the basement of a prison using his time.
Yeah. No, I look like a Raiders fan.
Ooh, I didn't say that. Ooh, I live in San Diego. I did not say that.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Lastly, before I talk about my geek out, we have Aloni joining us on the cast. What have you been geeking out on, El?
Well, I'm really glad that you're consistent about ladies first, so kudos to you. No, I've still been on a kind of like a rewatch, re-binge kick. Just rewatched The Witcher again for the second time. And I really don't know how people didn't get the fact that they were jumping around in the timelines a lot, just because it's super obvious. But apparently a lot of people found that confusing. But, I mean, the audio on it is super low, and then action scenes are really high, so trying to hear a lot of stuff is hard. So definitely get a little bit more out of it the second go around. Also watching The Mandalorian again because, you know, waiting for Pedro Pascal.
Because of Gina Carano's fantastic acting?
That, and I like making puns of like, oh, Pedro, don't lose your head, you know.
That deserves a Schwarzenegger stick around.
Squirrel Boy Nemo says Shark Fest on Nat Geo is going on. And Jack says he can tell us what Aloni is not geeking out on. I'm assuming that has to do with the book.
Oh, yeah. Cannon Fodder has been geeking out on watching Lower Decks, which is something I want to see.
Yeah. I've heard good things so far. So Squirrel Boy Nemo says my daughter and I are watching a lot about sharks. Did you know shark eggs are called mermaid purses?
That's one version of them, yes.
Sounds dirty.
It's like the aquatic
that's what
version
it's
of
called.
a prison purse. No,
it's a mermaid. That's what they call it, mermaid's purse. It's flat, little curve in the middle, eggs inside. Do it. There you go. Check it out. It's legit.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. My
You should be a teacher.
My geek out is consistent of two things. One, when the video gets up over on my YouTube channel, like Geek Guidepost, you can go check it out. But I went to so I turned 40 this year, and for my birthday, I was supposed to be going to Star Wars Celebration, but COVID canceled all that.
Yeah, I already poured one for the homies, buddy. That sucks. I'm still hurting.
So, it was going to fall on my birthday weekend. That's what was so great about it. But so since that got canceled, my wife was trying to figure out a way to make it up and have a good thing. So Kevin Smith turned 50 this year. And last Monday, for turning 50, he did a birthday bash where people paid for tickets to go watch Jay and Silent Bob Reboot and have a Q&A with him afterwards at a drive-in. So nobody was actually, everybody was distanced and stuff like that. But my geek out being watching the Jay and Silent Bob Reboot. Hey, if you're a View Askew fan, that movie is great. All the nods and throwbacks are fantastic in it. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. and then we'll have the Q&A up on the YouTube channel. And they had, and I assure you, we're open, big old draping there, and a merch store and a Movies food truck. So it was a lot of fun.
Smelled vaguely of shoe polish.
I didn't get up to the. I was trying to. I mean, we had to wear masks still, so you can't really smell to see if the shoe polish is what was used. So, but I do want to state one thing, because they're asking him all these questions, and one question came up, and I was like, this has to be brought up on the podcast, and it was about 80s movies and what Kevin Smith's favorite 80s movie was, and his actual phrasing was he loves Valley Girl. Nick Cage is a genius in that film, and I was like, okay, Kevin Smith's saying this, I got to bring it up on the cast. So.
Our producer is going to unofficially unlike him pretty soon, probably.
I just thought it was quite interesting that that's what he brought up for his favorite 80s film.
Chasing Amy, Tusk, Valley Girl.
Oh my God, Becky, Valley Girl. Oh my God.
In terms of things to check out for wasting your time, I've been binge watching How to Get Away with Murder, and it's a good show. Lots of twists and turns, crazy things going on. But the weirder thing is when you're watching it and your son's name is Connor and your name is Wes, and the character of Connor consistently starts talking about how much he hates Wes, it gives you a lot of fear towards the future when your son grows up, and I was like, okay, I don't need him to be hearing this right now. He can't hate me.
Formative memories. We're just building a personality here. He's gonna hate.
Yeah. So, and Squirrel Boy Nemo says Jason's muse is a real national treasure. So, put them together.
Yeah, but it's got that weird drug mouth thing going.
Yeah. So, all right. That's it. That's what we got for our Get Your Geek On. So now we move on to our trailer reactions with In a World.
In a city, in a town, in a world, they thought they had it all figured out. But there was one thing they didn't plan on.
In a World is our, like I said, reactions to trailers that have come out, and our thoughts on those trailers. I dropped this one to everybody, one, because I'm a huge Ridley Scott fan, but this is a big thing coming, because anytime Ridley Scott has a new project come out, people look at it and watch it, and it's a series called Raised by Wolves, and it's going to be on HBO Max. Not having told you anything about it, I mean, it shows like this girl taking care of kids on an alien planet, and then weird things are going on. I just want, before I go into what the show it's about, she also tells the story of the three little pigs in the trailer. What'd you guys think of the trailer?
It was intriguing. Like, it definitely felt like a Ridley Scott property, but like a whole new world that we've never seen before. We don't know what the rules are. Was that girl like a cyborg or an android of some sort? It was really cool looking. Like, I had never heard of this before watching that trailer, and now I want to see it.
Yeah, it gives a different twist to child's nursery rhymes, apparently. Yeah. Or at least brings them to light, because, half the nursery rhymes are about really bad events in history. So might as well spice it up and put it in real life, huh?
I mean, just bringing it back a little closer to Brothers Grimm,
Yeah, the android was kind of cool. I like the idea of how it looks obviously post-apocalyptic Earth. But I was looking for I was trying to look for Batman and the Flash and the whole desert scene too. So
why?
It's post-apocalyptic. I was looking for that little flashpoint, man. They're saving DC. Come on.
It's HBO Max. That's what's appearing on. Do you have any thoughts on the trailer, Eloni?
Yeah, I had not heard anything about it. I also don't have HBO Max yet. I don't know if I'm gonna get it. But no, it looks cool. It's definitely something new, because I feel like they're recycling everything nowadays, as they kind of normally do anyway. But no, definitely something interesting, something fresh and exciting. Yeah, no, it could be good. Or like xenomorphs could show up or something like that, or who knows.
Yeah.
Will Smith.
I was really lost at first watching it, going like, what the heck is this? What's going on? But yeah, it's androids struggle to raise human children on a mysterious planet. And what's said in the trailer is Mother was programmed to protect everyone after Earth had been destroyed. And when the big bad wolf shows up, she is the one we must trust. And then she says, gather round. And then she tells the story of the three little pigs.
And I liked that it was a little ambiguous about whether or not this is a good or bad character. Like there was tension between the good and bad sides, even in this like 2-minute trailer.
And at the end of it, did the guy mentions that she's the big bad wolf, and then she starts howling.
So the Earth was destroyed by a great war. I was programmed to protect you, and now we start again. Which we don't know what planet we're on either. And then that's what he says. The big bad wolf. And it's the guy. And the guy that she's talking about that's in the trailer is from Vikings. And he says the big bad wolf she was talking about, that's her. And then she's all weird and stuff. It's a 10 episode.
It felt like the planet from what was the alien movie with Michael Fassbender? With the big rolling ring.
Prometheus.
Yeah. Prometheus. Yeah, it felt like the planet from Prometheus.
So they're throwing in nursery rhymes. Prometheus. I'm waiting for a T-1000 and Batman in a Flash. Come on, let's hook this up, dude.
It'd be like Aesop Fables meets Terminator series meets Alien.
This is the follow-up series after Ex Machina.
Can we get Alita? Can we get Alita? I would like to see her.
They're making a sequel.
I'm saying let's throw it in. Let's make this a mashup. Let's do Ready Player One, except all freaking storybook, sci-fi craziness.
Right, with Alita and Big Hero number 5, and
hell yeah, bring Iron Giant back for that one. Go for it. What the hell?
No, when I read the title of it, I thought it was gonna be something completely different, like more kind of Jungle Book-y. Like where somebody's actually raised by wolves. Because if you ever read the Wikipedia page about children that are raised by animals, it's a hell of a read. Emus apprehending small children in the middle of nowhere. It's great.
You mean
I wonder what happened?
Strap blades onto his fists and fight wolves.
You mean they don't all turn out like Mowgli with dancing bears and
right?
Or like George of the Jungle, looking like Brendan Fraser back when he was in good shape.
I wonder what would happen to someone like that go to a furry convention.
Oh, we've gone off on a tangent. Okay.
Yes,
Sorry, guys.
Welcome, Beacon into the chat room as well. Thanks for coming in. Player one, but follow the actual story. Ready Player One, but follow the actual story is what Beacon wants. All right. Second trailer is just fun because it is Green Lantern, the Reynolds cut. To go off the Snyder cut. It is a 27-second video that Ryan Reynolds put out. It's the secret Reynolds cut. What did he say? He released it and he said, here's the secret Reynolds cut of Green Lantern you all have been waiting for. In order to make it as great as possible, we made some judicious cuts. The trailer has, it opens up with the infamous post-credit scene from Deadpool 2, in which Deadpool is seen traveling back in time to kill Reynolds as he reads the script.
Glorious.
It features it has a couple cuts in there, like half a second cuts of the film. And then you see Tom Cruise as Hal Jordan. And then you see, I guess, Tom Cruise fly off in a jet. And it ends with Green Lantern soaring through the sky, joined by the members from Justice League from the 2017 film. And that's the whole thing.
And there's only like 2 lines of dialogue in it, and both of them are about. I think the first one is like, "This is a terrible idea," and the second line of dialogue is like, "You're gonna fail miserably."
No, there's the first one. There's the first one word where he says "glorious," and then then the script gets all bloody. That's how it starts off. Yeah. I think it's brilliant. I think it shows that Ryan Reynolds can pretty much make anything gold at this point. Like he's that go-to person right now whenever you want that something fans appreciate. The difference between
Speaking of national treasures, although it's Canada's, I guess. But
he's adopted. We'll take him. We'll trade Wayne and Garth for them. So, but I just like the fact that he's able to produce stuff that that the fans really want to see out of it, and it just goes to his repertoire. I've dug him since Van Wilder. He's a really good actor and a comedian,
and just one of the most naturally funny people that I've ever seen. Like he's got the whole thing with his wife where they just constantly shit on each other online. It's hilarious.
Yeah, I'm kind of picturing like anytime he has this idea, and he was probably telling Blake Lively, he's like, "Babe, I'm gonna make this trailer. It's gonna be hilarious." And she's like, oh, "Okay, babe, that sounds great. Yeah." And just anything he says, she's like, "Sure, babe, go ahead. Cool." Awesome.
I've got the perfect example of this. I went to a buddy's party. It was like his 30th birthday party. My girlfriend at the time said, "What do you want to get him?" "Oh, no, let's get him some nice alcohol." Went into an alcohol store, found this sweet bottle. I think it was tequila, or whatever it was, but it was in this like glass bottle that looked like a freaking Tommy gun. "Oh, let's get him that." No, he won't like that. Go to the party, said, "Hey, this is what I would have got." I was like, "Dude, go back and get it." That's exactly what Ryan Reynolds is all about. He wants the alcohol and the Tommy gun glass bottle, and the alcohol sucks, but it's cool just to have the bottle.
Well, he owns or is doing
aviation gin.
So I'm sure he's good on the alcohol. Yeah.
Okay.
Not sponsored, but I have it.
In the chat room, Beacon said the secret Reynolds circumcision. That's not the cut that we were talking about.
Nope.
And Squirrelboy says Ryan Reynolds' wife is an American, so he's an American by proxy. So there you go. There's our adoption for
yes, official. So, make it happen. Make it so.
Yeah. Make it so. Okay. He's not playing.
Let him vote.
He might as well play Picard. Shave his head. Go for it. See what happens.
And you could fill the bottle with condiments if you don't like alcohol. There you go. Yeah.
I'm picturing like a mayo ketchup mustard swirl inside a Tommy gun shaped bottle.
That's the McDonald's secret sauce.
The bigger question is, should this 27-second clip get put onto Rotten Tomatoes, and what would it be its rating score for the Reynolds cut?
It would be a 95 because they would take 5 off for the poor editing.
83% just because some people think that Ryan Reynolds is too popular.
Yeah, I could see that.
And those people need to be re-educated. Moving on.
When is that movie coming out that he's in where he's an NPC? That's got to be soon.
Oh,
right?
What was that? Free.
It was supposed to come out this year. It's with everything else pushed back, but we'll get into that. Yes, we are going to be talking about that as well, Squirrel Boy. So, first, let's get into the big chunk of the show, the nerd news.
Fast, low key, good times.
All right, first nerd news was brought to us by Masonic Vader because he likes punishing us with a lot of words to read. So
complex words.
This article was from space.com. Yeah, he wants to give the words so I can get them all wrong. This is about the space roar, and that's that in 2006, NASA discovered the loudest sound in space or in anywhere, and they still haven't figured it out, and they're coming up with new ways to try and figure out what it is. But yeah, in 2006, they sent up this this balloon, and this is why it's nerdy, because of what they called this this balloon. Where's the actual algorithm for it? Or
Arcade.
Just real quick.
What you're looking for is acronym.
The acronym, yeah. The instrument that detected the mysterious roaring signal was the Absolute Radiometer for Cosmology, Astrophysics, and Diffuse Emissions. So, ARCADE.
Nice.
This sounds like the name that I gave to my ship when we were playing a Star Wars RPG, because I was a little squib, and they just make up ridiculous names, and that's what it sounds like.
What they said is, while it might make a good movie to see us surprised when we see the light meter pop over to a value 6 times what was expected, it then took months of data analysis to first separate instrumental effects from the signal and then to separate galactic radiation from the signal. So the surprise was gradually revealed over months. So it wasn't instantaneous, but the only thing they figured out, or they're assuming, is that this didn't come from the Milky Way, that it's not intergalactic, but so many words here.
It would have to be intergalactic.
Should
Yes,
I
not
got
from
the
our-
third grade order? Should I gotten
extragalactic is
should
what
I gotten NASAkids.com and gotten the third grade level for this for you, or what, dude?
they just said it wouldn't have matched up with the way our spiral galaxy works. It would make our galaxy weird, and so
Our galaxy's not already weird?
that's apparently to them. We're normal. We're a normal spiral galaxy.
Considering we haven't met any other ones, I guess there you go. I mean, it's
But
like
they-
if you're hanging
It's
your
all
basement.
relative.
It said this could be the first great empirical success of M theory, and now they are working on a new way to try and get past everything because it's a diffuse sound, so it's coming from everywhere, so they can't pinpoint a direction. So they're working on some new satellites to try and figure out from different points if they can get past this and figure out where the heck it's actually coming from.
My favorite part is like, oh, it could be this new whole thing of string theory and proves a bunch of stuff that like is pretty pertinent to our fabric of existence. Or they're like, or it could just be a whole bunch of shit. We have no idea.
Exactly.
I thought they kept me after a weekend going camping up at Palomar Mountain and I had too many baked beans, but whatever.
Well, it said it's a diffuse signal coming from all directions, so it's not caused by any one single object. You know what I think it is? Howler monkeys in space. Howler monkeys in space just screaming at each other.
I was gonna say space whales. Wasn't that a thing? Some space
No,
whales.
that was
It's
Star
one
Trek
space whale
episode
and one
4.
bowl of petunias.
Yeah, that was humpback whales you're talking about.
It's
Yeah,
the
no.
it's the dolphins from Family Guy screaming at each other.
It's the dolphins from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy as they've left the planet.
and
Is this
took
the
all the fish.
Is
Go
this the
ahead.
beginning of Men in Black? Is that what it is?
do you
It's
guys
God
think
stubbed
about-
his toe while bowling.
Fantasia 2000. Those whales.
Ooh.
Does the chat room have any theories on what it is?
I think our producer thinks it's the Beastie Boys.
No, that was me saying
Intergalactic
Beastie Boys.
Because intergalactic planetary is what Beacon said.
yes. Well, Jack Malice said it first, but yeah.
I am culturally sound in all
Cannon
forms.
Fodder has a theory on what the sound is, but he took an arrow to the knee.
Oh my god.
Wow. Retro memes. Okay, let's do it.
They've also now we've got stories about Space Australia, also known as ARS, to explore and understand the deep unknown. Australian research and space exploration.
What does ours have to say about it?
That is
They probably think it's
every
Go ahead.
scientific panel that comes up with an acronym should have a 6-year-old on staff. They run the name past him like, does that
That
work?
doesn't
And if
mean
the
what you
person
think it
laughing,
means.
change the name.
That doesn't mean what you think it means.
ours probably thinks it's some kind of an earthquake from Uranus.
When they hire a Scottish guy there, and he's like, "What the?"
Head paper now.
See, I went straight to groundskeeper Willie. I was like, "Has somebody seen me from the wee turtles?"
Oh, look at the size of his head. It's its own satellite system is as big as Sputnik.
Oh,
Well, that was harsh, wasn't it? He'll be crying himself to sleep tonight in his large pillow.
and
It's like a orange on a toothpick.
he brings these stories to us, and this is where we go with it. Hey,
We're
but
just we're trying to get your editing skill. You practice.
at least
Edit
we
as
didn't
much
talk
as you
about it just being a bunch of gas emissions and somebody farting in space. You know, that was the easy.
Yeah.
That was the easy go-to. So,
Well, I did that, but I said it in a better way.
I know.
Yeah, well, I mean, we already knew what space smelled like. It's supposed to smell like hot metal and raspberry vodka, right? Apparently. But now we know what it sounds like
If you
too.
want to test that, go for it, dude. And I will not be able to hear what you tell me.
No, because there's no vibration in space because there's no
Yeah.
air. Yeah.
Well,
Instantaneous death.
yeah. They also said it could be a large cluster of what was it? Large cluster of galaxies.
It's a giant Newton's cradle.
Yeah, large cluster of galaxies could be the source, but if this was the case, then they'd have to be packed incredibly tightly to the point that there is no gap between them, which appears unlikely. Just all the galaxies, yeah. So it
Who
could
knows?
be.
Maybe
Like I
it is
said, it's a
big old
giant Newton's
space
cradle.
rocket. It's a
One on the
big
end,
space
open
alien
the other.
about to eat our planet. How about that? Let's
They
just
think it
call
could be
that.
annihilating dark matter, supernova, the first generation of stars. I mean, there's all different types of things. So hopefully, it's been 13 years. Hopefully soon they'll figure it out.
Hey, wait a sec. I think Green Lantern ties into
Billion.
that. What was that? What was the freak Galactus or whatever the crap was at the end? The big cloud eating planets again. Yeah, that's a Green Lantern tie-in right there. That's NASA for you.
Let me ask you this: what comes first, Winds of Winter, or then figuring out what the sounds of the space are?
Oh God, the universe will end before Winds of Winter comes out.
Okay, let's move on to the next. Okay, so we talked about a reboot earlier. Now we have a new one because in this when we were talking about the Beavis and Butthead reboot, we talked about another series that should get a reboot, and lo and behold, that's what's happening. So Comedy Central announced that they are rebooting Ren and Stimpy, a reimagination of it. So not only do they have Beavis and Butthead going to Comedy Central, they have new Ren and Stimpy coming to Comedy Central. They said, I want to thank our partners at Nick Animation as we reimagine these iconic characters with new creative team. So not the original creative team. We won't go into why.
Yeah, we're not going to show Chris Valucci, unfortunately.
And it says, Ren and Stimpy joins our rapidly expanding roster of adult animation, including South Park, Beavis and Butthead, and Clone High, which is also a reboot that I never actually watched, so I don't know what Clone High is.
Okay, so Squirrel Boy brings up a good point. He says, I hope they don't destroy Ren and Stimpy after the last reboot. And I was going to ask, wasn't there already a reboot like 10, 12 years ago?
Yeah.
I remember watching on Netflix.
Yeah, I don't think it did very well. So this
it was like 8 episodes, and it was a pretty mediocre season.
Yeah. So
I think they're going to retcon that and just make you forget it. There you go. I think it's cool. Comedy Central, man, they're saying, you know, we're just not going after one group of people. We're going to go through everybody. We're going to get Ren and Stimpy. We're going to get Beavis and Butthead. I mean, good God. I mean, if The Simpsons were available, I'm sure they'd have that too. But, you know, it's amazing how they're going to try to bring everything back and bring it at one time. I mean, that's every stoner's dream right now.
Yeah. I feel like it's such older millennials who can't just let stuff go. God, like Beavis and Butthead.
The nostalgia is strong with us.
Yeah,
super strong. And it's like, just there's a reason Ren and Stimpy went off the air. Just let it die.
They stopped making it. That's why. It wasn't canceled. Squirrel Boy says it was Spike TV, and it was cringy at best. Beacon says, I just could not care less. And Squirrel Boy also says, time for a Dario reboot, which that...
You don't want the further adventures of the traveling rubber nipple salesman?
And going back to that nostalgia comment, you just, I mean, having a kid, you have to look at all the cartoons that are out there right now. Everything's computer animated. It goes with some, it doesn't go with other. It's horrible animation. I like that the fact they're going to bring back real animation and kind of put it back on there, you know?
Yeah, and that's fine. Like, you know, drawn animation as opposed to CGI stuff is fine. Like, that's always a cool medium. But Ren and Stimpy and Beavis and Butthead are not for the kids. I mean, you're the parent, you do what you want, but...
Well, that's the interesting twist here, because it says towards their adult animation. So Ren and Stimpy it wasn't for kids, but it wasn't terrible. I watched it as a kid, so I mean, this is now they're focusing this lineup along with South Park and stuff like that towards straight, you know, not for kids to watch. So it'll be maybe a little edgier version of Ren and Stimpy.
Sure, like I said, I mean, for those older millennials like you guys.
Yeah, originally Ren and Stimpy was on Nickelodeon, and it was in the like 2-hour block of Nicktoons that also had like Rugrats, Doug, and Rocko's Modern Life. Mm-hmm. And yeah, some of those were for kids, and Ren and Stimpy was definitely not.
And Rocko's Modern Life was brought back for a movie. Didn't Doug get brought back for Disney? Because Disney actually owns Doug.
I think so, yeah.
I know Rugrats had a movie.
Yeah, so why not, you know, why not Ren and Stimpy, the one that had one of the biggest followings out there? So
the Rugrats had 2 movies. It was the Rugrats and the Rugrats in Paris. Thank you very much.
Wow, millennial, huh? Yeah, all right. Cool.
I am not a Rugrats fan. As a millennial, Squirrel Boy says, I disagree with you, lady. Ren and Stimpy were great and need to stay alive. Cannon Fodder says, might as well reboot No Neck Joe. Jack says, even real animation today is still CGI. It is just 2D, not generated in a 3D engine. Yeah, Squirrel Boy says the last reboot of Ren and Stimpy was edgy, but was cringy edgy. And that we are all Gen X. Get it right, is what Jack says.
No, I'm not Gen X, and I'm not a millennial. I'm an Xennial. I'm in that weird little 4-year gap.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, Squirrel Boy also says Rocco's Modern Life is legit, totally not for kids. Seeing as Rocco was a phone sex operator. That's true. I totally forgot that.
Okay. Any other thoughts about them bringing it back? Any specific characters you want to see or stories? I want Powder Toast Man. And
like I said, the traveling rubber nipple salesman.
Yeah. I need expansions to Don't Whiz on the Electric Fence for because now
I want the second progressive log.
Let's not necessarily blame Comedy Central for this, because to be perfectly frank, I want to say Disney has a part in this too, because now you can go to Disney and see a lot of these cartoons that we watch as kids and during the 90s, and they're bringing those guys back. They're bringing cartoons I didn't even know existed, like the Silver Surfer cartoon series that they had and stuff. So it's not necessarily that Comedy Central is going back and trying to reach for millennials. It just seems like everybody's going back and reaching back for those cartoons that we like to watch.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But the most reboots I've seen, like back to back, we had Beavis and Butthead. We found that out a couple weeks ago, and now with Ren and Stimpy, it's like everything is getting remade or rebooted. Like it's a lot, which is why
there's no new ideas anymore. So yeah, that's
absolutely not
the world we live in. Beacon says, I'm just saying, Beavis and Butthead, Ren and Stimpy, let's just be honest, it's hot garbage and not worth your time unless you're 6 beers in or smoking a doobie.
Which I am always either one of those two things.
Squirrel also says, peer into my nipples of the future. Going back to...
You know what? I want to know who has the rights to You Can't Do That on Television. Let's not just bring back cartoons. Let's get You Can't Do That on Television back. That was a great
show. Was awesome.
I agree, Jack. I think it only had 1 season. Can I get Pirates of Blackwater rebooted? A reboot would be interesting.
Thundar. I'll go with you on Thundar.
Yeah. So okay.
Absolutely.
You brought up Disney, so let's get into this last nerd news story.
You brought up Disney. I don't know what you're talking about.
You brought up Disney. You said Disney had a part to play in all this.
Come on, dude. I read the notes. I actually study up.
Disney has a part to play in this week's episode because Mulan and Bill and Ted are both coming to us earlier by way of theaters and to watch at home on your screens. But here's the twist with Mulan. So Mulan's releasing in September, but unlike other Disney Plus titles, if you have a monthly subscription or an annual subscription, it doesn't matter. You still need to pay $29.99 for Mulan.
It's a good move. It's a smart, practical move. Yeah, because nobody's going to see that movie that doesn't have a family. If you're going to watch Mulan, you probably have 2-3 kids with you.
We just talked about
movie theater tickets are like $17. It's ridiculous. That's before you get snacks and shit. So yeah, $29 for your entire family to be able to sit in your own living room and watch it. That is a brilliant move.
I disagree on the family part because it's definitely like, yes, Mulan is, I remember when it came out when I was like 8 or 9, I loved Mulan. But now this one, because I'm pretty sure they're not doing any music, they're not doing any singing. It's pretty like straight and closer to the actual legend of Mulan that, yeah, kids are going to like it. Sure. But I think it could also appeal to more older crowd that maybe doesn't necessarily have kids yet or just don't have kids.
It's a genius business move, but I kind of agree with the expression you had when he started saying that mess. Is that, I'm not going to pay $30 to watch a cartoon. I have a hard time paying. I have a hard time paying for a cartoon.
It's live action.
Wait, let me finish. I have a hard time paying for any type of money for a cartoon. Mulan is going to be live action. I get it. But I am not going to pay $30 to watch it at home. Now the underclip to this is if you do have the subscription, once you buy it, you get to keep it however long you have your subscription, which is cool. So it's like buying to keep, but you got to keep your subscription. I'm not going to pay the $30 to see it. I'll wait till they make it available for everybody.
You bring up a good point, Masonic, that I didn't even think about until looking at this more further. But yeah, I mean, one, this was my issue with it. Isn't most digital viewings, aren't they like $19? So this is like $10 more than what most of them are.
Yeah.
So
that's
that's
usually about $19.
Yeah, so that's one thing.
Most of the stuff you can get streaming on Amazon Prime is like $2.99 to rent.
Well, no, they're talking about new movies.
I'm talking new movies. Like Troll
like
World
brand new.
Yeah,
Troll's World Tour was like $19.99 or something. So
$19.99, they broke some money records, right?
Yeah, and Disney's already pushing that, like, oh, we can get $10 more, you know. And going back to what Aloni said, nostalgia doesn't mean it's only families are going to watch this. There's going to be nostalgic people that are just like, I've been waiting for this film. But what made me mad was this was brought out during the Disney going over their earnings. And what the CEO, Bob Chapek, said was, despite the ongoing challenges of the pandemic, we've continued to build on the incredible success of Disney Plus as we grow our global direct-to-consumer business. The global reach of our full portfolio of direct-to-consumer services now exceeds an astounding 100 million paid subscriptions. So you're getting paid by over 100 million people. Now you're going to tell those other 100 million people you got to pay another $30 if you want this movie. And you got to pay for.
How else are they going to continue to dominate the entire world? It
seems greedy a little bit because, okay, then put it out at the $29.99 on Amazon or something for anybody. Don't put it onto your site on your service that you have to pay for already to get, right, and then charge 30 on top of that.
That's how big, rich, successful corporations become big, rich, and successful. They take the money where they can get it, and this is a great opportunity for them.
Now, Squirrel Boy makes a good point here. Disney reported its first net loss in decades. Obviously, it's not from entertainment value. It's the fact that they can't have anybody go to their parks. And, well, obviously, the movies are not out right now. They can't release, like, Black Widow was supposed to be out by right now. They were anticipating a lot of money coming from that and everything. So, yeah, this is their attempt to try to recoup some of that money. And once again, that's where I see, like, I'm with Mess. I see a problem with this, not for the necessarily of charging $10 more, but it's just the idea that you're charging people $30 to watch a movie home. I don't care. I would rather see in a movie theater and pay the $24 a month I pay for Regal to watch it at the movie theater and get that full-on experience, because my 50-inch TV with my stupid sound bar is not going to give me half the experience that I would get in a movie theater. So it's their attempt to try to make up for the money they lost. And, I agree. I think it's BS that they're doing it this way.
Yeah.
I had no plans to watch Mulan in the first place, so I don't care how much it costs.
Oh, I didn't either, but that $30 price point too, because I know my husband's not going to watch it with me. It's just going to be me. So, and
so watch it like 3 times. Make it worth it.
Yeah,
$30 is hard right now, man. I'm still waiting on a tax return and the first.
But it was even like
stimulus.
Watching the other live action movie, because I only saw a couple of them. I saw Aladdin, which I was super disappointed about, and watching Beauty and the Beast, which was I haven't seen The Lion King. I haven't seen Cinderella, which I forgot even existed. But like the other live action Disney movies, like I wasn't super, like oohed and awed over. It was just kind of like meh. So
I want to see what the timeline is of how long are they going to keep it that you got to pay for it to get it on Disney Plus. Like if it's like 3 months and then you get it, it's going to pop up on Disney Plus, I'll wait the freaking 3 months. That's the thing. So
anyway, like, where do you really got to go?
I mean, what they should have done is if they want people to, if you want to see it immediately, we're going to put on Disney Plus for the subscribers, it's a reduced rate. For non-Disney Plus subscribers, it's the $30. Mm-hmm. So the fact that they put it on
that would make sense.
Yeah, for the factor of putting it onto a subscription service and charging that's where I'm saying that it's a greedy factor of taking it. But Cannon Fodder says Disney's being greedy and they're trying to form a monopoly. Beacon says, can you watch it unlimited times for $30? Yeah, I would assume so.
Well, the only thing I read answering that question really quick is that if you have the current subscription, so apparently you don't have to have it to get it. You can pay $30. I just know that they mentioned in there that if you have the subscription, you get it. You get to watch it and keep it in your thing however long you keep your subscription valid. I'm not sure if it for the non-members. I'm sure they'll probably pull like the same thing that looks like Google and Amazon.
I don't think you can get it if you're a non-member.
No, I think you can. I think there was I think I read where you can get it. However, I think they might pull like what they do in Google and Amazon, where if you get it, you have, after you rent it, when you start watching, you got like 24 or 48 hours to watch it, and then it's done. So, and this is just like what I thought I read. I could be off, but I just remember what stuck to me is that if you have the subscription service, you pay it, and then you'll be able to watch it however long you want to, how many times you want to, as long as you keep the subscription service going. If it was me and I was doing that model, I wouldn't be dumb to cut off everyone who doesn't have the subscription service, because all they're going to do is they're going to get people to rent it, buy the subscription service, cancel it, and they're only getting like $2 more. It's not worth their time to handle people getting a service and canceling it right after they watch the movie. Makes no damn sense.
Squirrel Boy brings up a really good point. He says he has a 3-year-old, so they're going to watch the damn movie on a loop for 3 months. $30, it's fine. And again, like people with small children, you know, I know people that their kids have been watching Frozen pretty much nonstop since it came out 8-9 years ago. You pay $30 for that movie, but people are going to watch it a lot.
Yeah. It would be like Apple charging you for iTunes and then charging you for each song and podcast you listen to, is what Cannon Fodder says. So let's go on to the other series, the other movie that's coming sooner, and that will be on.
Wait, hold on a second. What were you saying there?
Oh no, I was just gonna say, like, watching things over and over. I watched Mulan, the original one, like 2 days ago, folding laundry. So yeah, no, I definitely rewatch stuff over and over, especially Disney movies.
Yeah,
just can't watch some of the important stuff though that we keep suggesting to you.
And that's the thing. They said at the same time it's going to be coming out in theaters where you can watch it in theaters, where theaters aren't closed down. So, I'll give my other little thought of why I have a problem with it. So, releasing August 28th, a week earlier, Alex Winters let us know that Bill and Ted 3 will be going to theaters, drive-ins, and simultaneous release on PVOD, so at-home watch. This will put it up against New Mutants. So,
New Mutants are screwed. They were screwed anyways. Now you know there's an executive right now who read that this morning and just said, "Fuck." I mean, that's literally what they just said.
Let's be honest. Whatever executive greenlit that movie in the first place has been fired.
I mean, but they had a chance. They had a chance. Everyone saw this updated trailer and like, oh, you know what? Maybe I will go see this movie. Bill and Ted gets moved up a week. You son of a bitch! We had a chance. You know, that's what it was. That's like, yeah.
So they're releasing it. We don't know what the price of it will be. But drive-ins. Why doesn't Mulan do that as well? I mean, they said theaters.
I can tell you.
Put in a drive-in as well.
Unfortunately, here's the bad thing. And living somewhere where I was close to one in both places, San Diego doesn't have many drive-ins left. I think maybe only 4 or 5, if that. There was one in Santee that's still there. There was one in Oceanside that was never used. It was used at a damn swap meet. Now it's all torn down. They're going to put I don't even know what the hell they're going to put there. But there's not a lot of drive-ins. So that's why they're not going strictly that option, because there's nothing to fill. And I know that Walmart's trying to do their whole like, hey, let's put a pop-in drive-in and show movies and stuff. That's another way they're trying to get your money. But if I had the money, I'd open a drive-in in less than a month and do it, because I always thought the drive-ins were still a cool place to watch them.
Drive-ins are awesome, but yeah, you're right. They are not common. I grew up in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area, and there is one drive-in for those 2 cities, which has like, the whole metro area is like 4 million people. There's one drive-in. So when I was living in Central Coast, California, I was lucky enough to live like less than a mile from a drive-in, and we went there all the time. But it's just not that common.
I'm all about drive-ins because there's one down the street from me. So.
You know what, though? However, COVID might be the saving for drive-ins. Maybe there's a reboot of drive-ins.
Oh, yeah. It'd be hopping right now.
Well, they were talking about that, and I definitely follow my hometown of Fort Collins. I follow the Holiday Twin Drive-In out there, follow their Facebook page, and like, yeah, they opened up again. I think they were kind of one of the first, but I remember going there when I was younger, and they'd have that like PSA, and it was kind of like the ASPCA commercial with the one In the Arms of an Angel song, but talking about all the drive-ins that are closing. Because exactly. Talking about the drive-ins that are closing, because they can't like keep up with the demand, or not keep up with the demand, but they just don't make that much money like they used to.
If you guys have some money, I'm willing to take. I'll start a drive, a channel, whatever. You can start donating. We'll open up one because I think that honestly, this is a great time to invest back into it because the way things are going, I don't think anything will go back to normal. I'm sure movie theaters will open eventually to a different type of style. I think this is the possibility where the drive-in gets it's like the phoenix rising from the ashes. I think this is the chance it has to get back out there.
So
sorry, we went on a tangent again, but that's the way the show is going tonight. Good time.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, if you open up a drive-in, we're gonna need to have a Mexican corn cart out front because that stuff.
Hell yizzle. I'm down with that.
Cannon Fodder says drive-ins are rad. Beacon says the issue with drive-ins since bathrooms depends on which drive-ins you're going to. Squirrelboy says the closest one to him involves toll roads, 30+ minutes away. Have to wear pants. Not sure if you can go to drive-in during the new normal. Are you going to theaters?
Don't have to wear pants. Nobody's invading your car.
What drive-in are you going to, buddy? I mean, the one thing
I'm hoping he's wearing pants when he goes to the theater.
And you could solve the bathroom problem.
It's dark in there. Who knows?
It's called a rubber tube and a couple gallons, empty gallons. You could easily take care of that, dude.
Now I got nothing. Bill and Ted, like, cool. I saw the original one, 12 years ago, maybe. It was funny. I laughed.
You're not shitting on millennials for this one? Because this is a millennial coming back.
Kind of
Older millennial.
She just said she laughed. It was funny. Like, it's not that funny. No, it's that funny.
I remember it being funny, but like I said, I saw it like 12 years ago. So, like, yeah, had a great time. Don't remember it because it was 12 years ago.
Remember, Aloni thought Scrubs was cute and Lucifer was I. so I don't expect you to think much of Bill and Ted.
What do you want from me?
We need to check resumes better in the future. That's all.
We gotta do a Clockwork Orange with her. We gotta put her eyeballs like this and have her
we
watch
still have
all
her
the
on the
movies.
list for having to watch. We still have her on the list for having to watch Aliens, and I can't remember the other one that.
Which one?
Mystery Men. So we need Aliens, Mystery Men, and I think there was one more movie that she still.
By the way, to give you a heads up, if you have Amazon Prime, not a sponsor, but could be if you go and buy through them and go through our link. Mystery Men is on Amazon Prime, so you may enjoy that to your heart's content.
Oh, okay.
Movie.
All right.
Nice. All right. This is the rapid fire news. This is quick reactions to stories because there's so much to talk about. So rapid fire news story number 1. David Lynch has been giving weather reports every single day. David Lynch, the director and writer of Twin Peaks and Mulholland Drive and Eraserhead, every morning on his YouTube channel, David Lynch Theater, gives you a morning weather update by looking out his window and letting you know. It's just as weird as his movies. So what do you guys think?
I could tell you it's not hard if you live in California. What was that? The movie where it's like, what's the weather? It's bright and sunny. Back to you. That's literally all he has to do.
California doesn't have weather.
Well, no, when I say it's not
whether
as
or not
weird,
it's on fire.
but where I say it's just as weird as his movies is one of them. He's like, you may wonder why I'm holding this jar and I have it taped this way. The weather's like this. He never gets to the answer of why he's got the jar like that. Just like Mulholland Drive never gets the answer to everything going on.
The owls are not what they seem.
Exactly.
How long was this video? Because I didn't make it more than 20 seconds in.
It was
I
like
could not
a
stand
minute.
listening to him talk.
Each one's like a minute long.
Yeah,
Like,
it was too much.
Can we be
too much
more
for me.
amazed at the fact that he's in a basement in California? Like literally, there's probably like 6 of those left in
Good
California.
call.
Yeah, thank you. You're welcome.
I was
Appreciate
confused
it.
by that.
Basement.
Yeah.
He said he was in his workshop.
Which was a basement, I think.
It was definitely underground. It had that like fire escape window at the top.
Yeah, quite possibly. Okay, rapid fire story number 2. John Wick 5 confirmed. Going to go back to back with John Wick 4 in terms of filming.
You can never
Excellent.
do
They're
better
doing
than
Lord of the
Back to
Rings
Future 2
style.
and 3.
Like, go first, Sonic.
You can never do better than Back to the Future 2 and 3. But I'm excited anyways.
I see.
Well, I said they're doing it Lord of the Rings style. I think that's maybe better than Back to the Future 2 and 3.
You're smoking crack. You're smoking
That's
crack.
debatable.
Yeah.
Anyway,
we
Don't get
can't
me wrong. I
talk
love Back to the
it's-
Future 2 and 3.
It is dark in your place, so we can't tell. Sorry. Okay.
Anything else?
Well, if it's dark there, he must be in David Lynch's basement. No, I'm behind. I've only seen 1 and 2. I haven't seen 3, so
What the hell? Seriously, come on.
But she's rewatched Mandalorian and rewatched The Witcher.
And she watched Mulan 2 days ago.
You are 50 cut off from rewatching anything because you're wasting valuable time. You could have watched Aliens. You could have watched.
Oh, I thought this was a judgment-free zone. I see.
It's totally a judgment-free zone. But if I'm going to get crapped on for not watching Game of Thrones and I have to binge watch 7 seasons to live past that last one and totally
for watching
shit.
Game of Thrones because it wasn't me.
It was before you came to the cast.
That's what this cast does. It changes.
My day, like you didn't have to go through this. Like
the transitional.
I'm a millennial.
Nerd bullying.
Thank you. I'm Gen X where the cartoons were so much better than the crap that's out now. Live it, love it.
Beacon says, I'll take John Wick 42, so you keep making them and I'll keep watching. And this is just embarrassing.
Hell yeah.
It's not like there's a lot of plot. Something bad happens. He kills 150 people. There's some cool driving. Yay! And
so the last thing that Keanu filmed back to back, people thought it got worse with each film, and that was the Matrix films.
The Matrix, yeah.
So,
but he's
I'm
like
like,
Matrix 4 right now. So
I know, but he's given it a lot of time before doing it. So I just
you know what? And here's where I think they got it though, because even though the last 2 movies weren't filmed together, they filmed it in a way to where it was a continuation, like immediately a continuation. They understand it. They don't give it 6 months or a year or something like that, a timeline where you're trying to figure out why there's a new driver of the fucking ship and what happened to the other dude. They get it, and I think Keanu understands the people behind him. I know it's rapid fire, but whatever. We lost that a long time ago. Is the fact that he's doing this because the fans are voicing their opinion and he's reacting to their opinion. Bill and Ted is back because fans voice their opinions about it and they're super stoked about it. So that guy gets it, and that's why Keanu can never do wrong.
Keanu's the only one having a decent 2020. He's making nothing but reboots of super popular properties, and he's doing it well.
Yeah, no, I'm all about it. I'm all for it. So I just, we get John Wick 4 Memorial Day weekend 2022 is what the plan is. Okay,
and Jack Fire is right. The sequels were bad because of the writing, not Keanu.
Yeah, exactly. Rapid fire news story number 3. Nia DaCosta is the director for Captain Marvel 2. You may not know her name. She is directing the upcoming Candyman reboot. And she directed a film called Little Woods that you can watch on Hulu. That's her whole directing status. But female African-American directing the next Captain Marvel, which we know nothing else about. So
good. I mean, there are female people of color in that movie as main characters. So I'm glad that there's somebody other than a white man trying to express their viewpoints. I'm great. I love it.
I just would like to figure out what happened to the original director. I didn't look into it at all. I just was kind of like reading up.
Did they have a different director?
They had Anna Boden and Ryan Fleck. They were the original directors of Captain Marvel. So I'd like to know. I didn't think they had them attached for Captain Marvel 2 yet, though. That's my point. What happened? What happened to them? Because the one thing that makes me nervous about it, it's not that she's not capable or anything, but it's that storyline contingency, continuancy. Excuse me. The whole idea that the first director who had the helm had an idea or a vision for that to go, and usually you keep that, like the Russo brothers and stuff like that, were able to make the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe move forward. What's a new director going to do? How's it going to change it? And that's where I'm concerned, because I thought the first Captain Marvel movie was actually a good movie. It was and I was interested to see. Yeah.
Do you have any quick thoughts, Aloni?
So I looked up because I had never heard of her first movie, and I looked it up, and it looks like I had no idea it existed, but it has like James Badge Dale in it. I love that guy, and the whole synopsis of it was kind of like a modern Western with 2 sisters trying to figure out a murder, something. But all the stuff I read about looked really awesome. And I was trying to figure out if her last name is DaCosta, if there's any relation to Yaya DaCosta, who's an actress. She was in Take the Lead, but she was also the love interest in The Kids Are All Right, Mark Ruffalo's initial love interest. And she's absolutely gorgeous, and I would leave anyone if I could be with her. And yeah, no, but yeah, no. So and she's super talented. She's a great actor, and if that's the whole family thing, if they're related. If not, I kind of want to put that movie on my list too, because apparently I haven't seen a lot of movies.
Here's the thing. My only quick thought.
Apparently,
I love the hiring, but my only concern, I got to watch Little Woods, because that had to knock somebody off their feet. She's got 2 films that she's directed. One hasn't come out yet. It's a reboot of a horror film, which, horror can go one or two ways. Candyman is the old Candyman was
Candyman is one of the terrors of my childhood.
It's just a slasher flick though, for the most part. So there's not a lot of growth with it. I would assume. So she's got those 2 on her profile, and now she's getting to direct an MCU film.
Yeah,
but they mentioned that in the article. They're talking about how that is a standard movie career track for white male directors. Do a shitty little independent movie, do a mid-level thing, get to direct a blockbuster. You can't do it.
Yeah, but here's the problem. So if you look at the last time, and this is where I got kind of confused where Marvel went with this, was if you look at Marvel's history, think of the movies that were filmed by different directors. Think of how well they did. Thor.
Well, look at the massive difference between Thor 2 and Taika Waititi.
But I'm saying, first of all, there was Thor, and then they didn't bring back the original director. They brought a new one in, and look how crappy Thor 2 was. Taika had to come back in and fix it with Ragnarok, which is awesome, and now he's going to do the next one. So it just kind of shook me a little bit as far as thought about it for a second. It's like, dude, Marvel's actually going to take this chance because Captain Marvel is pegged to be the leader of the Avengers. She is like long haul here, and this is a pivotal movie. Yeah. This is going to be her second movie in the middle of everything that's going to be happening to set up the next gen movies. So it's not just she's jumping to the MCU, she's jumping to the possible pin. I mean, that's a lot of weight.
Has Kevin Feige and Marvel made so far? Have they made, Thor 2 is probably the worst of all of the MCU, right? But how many missteps has the MCU and Kevin Feige really made in 23 movies? They're hiring the right people for the right reasons. I trust them at this point.
Yeah, but that's a huge weight.
I feel like it's just taking a page out of DC. The one thing that DC did correct with Patty Jenkins and Wonder Woman. Patty Jenkins didn't have a huge long list of films, so I think that's how I feel that they're doing. And
I get that, but I don't think there was much weight. I don't want to say as much weight, but I think once again, this is setting up a whole next 10 movies. I mean, This movie is right in the middle of it. This is a very important movie to bring in a new director who has no work with anybody.
All I know is everybody needs to go watch
Little Woods for no reason, though.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Everybody needs to go watch Little Woods because that's what you have to go off of right now for her directing to be able to watch, to see, and that might spell it out right there. That this film was directed phenomenally. There's chatter in the chat room about whether Captain Marvel was good or not. People liked it. People didn't like it. Beacon says Guillermo consistently got screwed over and over, and then he won an Oscar. And that's the way Guillermo's supposed to do it. Okay, so last rapid fire story, number 4. All right, nerds, get your credit cards out and your wallets ready if you have a significant other that's a nerdette. Pandora's teaming up with Star Wars. They're making Star Wars charms. What do you guys want to see?
I mean, they're going to make a Baby Yoda. They can't.
You don't know what Pandora is?
Oh.
No.
I see.
I barely buy. I know you guys have pop collections and stuff. I don't spend money on stuff other than video.
Every mall you walk into, you'll see a Pandora. They're the really nice charm bracelets, the expensive charm bracelets. Now they're getting into geek culture. So they started with Harry
Are
Potter.
malls still a thing?
Not right now, but
Pandora's trying to save them.
now they're doing Star Wars.
It's a Claire's, an Auntie Anne's pretzels, and a Pandora. That's what you're saying?
Right next to the Lush and the Zales.
Pandora's actually, I think they're
Just
partnered.
around the
They're
corner from
partnered,
the movie theater. Yeah.
they're partnered with one of the major jewelry stores as well. They're an offshoot of one of the jewelry stores. So that's what Beacon says. What's a mall?
Exactly.
I think it's Jared. I think it's Jared Gallery.
Yeah. So
Jared is the Galleria of Jewelry. Yeah.
and Jack said the same thing. What is Pandora? See, my wife has Pandora, so we know.
I'm surprised someone out there said it's a music channel.
I mean,
it's a
yeah,
box.
you're talking about
It's a box, and
like
somebody opened it up, and that's what
bracelets.
happened to 2020.
Yeah, there you go.
charm bracelets and malls. I mean, are we just? It's an entirely '80s thing, right?
I can tell you what. Okay, so Pandora's coming out with a Star Wars charm bracelet for 2020. It's gonna be all Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Okay. I will tell you the three that I had on mine. Yes, one, Eloni, you are right. I'm sure there's going to be a Baby Yoda charm or in the little thing or something like that. There'll be some type of split charm that'll say "I love you" and "I know" on. I guarantee there will be one, and the Death Star will be a charm. So
Yeah, well, so because the way the charms work too, because I mean they have little dangly ones, but they also, I mean, they're mostly like a bead. So BB-8, Death Star,
BB-8 will be one, yeah.
Millennium Falcon, like those work perfectly with how the jewelry is made. So that's, I mean, good on them. I'm not a jewelry person. I don't really have any jewelry, but I have bought several Pandora charms and charm bracelets for other people. So it's a good move. The quality of the stuff is nice. It's all silver and whatnot. So yeah, whatever. Do
I'm
I'm
your
just
trying
thing.
to
picturing
hide
little
it. I
computer
still can't hide
figurines
that.
like you can buy at mall kiosks now, only dangling from somebody's wrist.
I mean, kind of. I think Swarovski also had like I know they have a Disney line.
yeah, I mean the charms are like 20, like anywhere from $15 to $30 per charm, so it gets expensive.
Yeah,
Mhm.
for sure. It's a charm bracelet. You build it over time. You don't go out and buy
Yeah.
all of them at the same time.
My wife has the one for it's a boy. You know, she's a huge Haunted Mansion fan, so she has a couple 50th anniversary Haunted Mansion Disney ones and stuff. So yeah, so
I
the
can tell
nerds
you
that
how-
know, they'll understand that this is going to cost them some money to get these charms.
So if you guys want to have a precursor to what it's going to be like at convention in 2022, if they keep going on this, all you have to do is watch a movie called "I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker," and they're going to be OG'd.
Well, it's okay. You said it the whitest way you could have. It's "I'm gonna get you, sucker."
Well, yeah, but they're going to be OG'd. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check that out. That's going to be a convention in 2022, right there.
And Squirrel Boy's there with me. He says wife has a charm that's acknowledged he's a boy. Acknowledges he's a boy. So yeah, exactly. My son's a boy. I thought he was saying his wife had one.
Boy.
Well,
It's a boy.
here's where they're great too, because if you're terrible at getting presents, like me and my husband, we got my mother-in-law one. So then for the next however many Christmases and birthdays and Mother's Day gifts, you don't have to think too hard. Just get a new Pandora charm for her charm bracelet.
Mhm. That's exactly my mother-in-law. Every
Honey,
single Christmas.
Doing the advertising for them. Nice.
Every single
Honey.
Christmas is which charm does my mother-in-law want, and that's what we get. So
Honey, I appreciate it, but however, I can't move my arm anymore because there's so many freaking charms.
Just walking in circles
honey.
slowly.
It's like Igor. I'm coming, master. I'm coming.
all right, last part of the show. Somebody's got to talk about it.
We need to talk.
You talking to me?
Oh my God! Who told you?
Have you told anyone else about this?
What you talking about?
Look who's talking.
Somebody's got to talk about it. Is the weird, the odd, the strange, the funny stories that are out there that we figured out somebody has to talk about. This first one,
Like the ones we haven't already talked about already.
no, this first one is about the next big great drug smuggler. So a cat in Sri Lanka escaped prison after being found with 2 grams of heroin, 2 SIM cards, a memory chip hidden in a plastic bag tied to its collar. It was arrested, detained. Police detained the cat after discovering the drugs, hoping it would lead them to.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'm trying to figure out why they would detain the cat, and I'm picturing a very interesting interrogation scene. Just a room with a metal table and a two-way mirror, and the cat's got like its little paws taped down to the desk, and they're just asking, "Where'd you get the heroin? Where'd you get the heroin?"
Batman comes up behind him and smacks his face into the table. Give me the heroin! Who's your dealer?
Well, they detained it, hoping it would lead them.
And says, "You guys want to see a magic trick?"
They detained it, hoping it would lead them to the human drug smugglers. I don't know if they were trying to work a deal out.
They're going to show up at the prison like, "Hey, do you have our cat and our heroin?"
They had like catnip trying to work a deal. Hey, we'll give you this if you get yeah. But the animal
if you find this kitty, see Big Tom down there the street in the crack house.
It says the animal got out of its holding room, escaped the prison through a fence when prison guards came to feed it, and police are not searching for the cat following its escape. So not only did it get detained, but it did a jailbreak too.
It became a Disney movie. Follow that cat!
Cats are like the ultimate chaotic neutral being. No, I have plenty of memes of cats about this. One specifically about drug sniffing cats, which I will post to the group Facebook page because it's brilliant.
He escaped after watching the Clint Eastwood Alcatraz movie.
It's
Figured
like
it out.
It's like that cat that kept trying to break into the library in Japan, and they posted essentially a sentry at the entrance of that library so the cat couldn't get in. No, cats are...
Isn't there like a small town in Alaska that their mayor is a cat?
Yep.
Yeah.
Happens too.
Is that the same one with the Blockbuster? That would be perfect.
Well, the cat actually runs the Blockbuster. Yeah.
Cannon Fodder says, does that count as cat burglary? Beacon says, the cutest damn mugshot ever. The two things that came to my head was like, now we need a movie of this whole story, and it could be all cats go to the slammer.
Starring Tom Cruise. He does his own stunts.
Great escape.
It's the perfect crime, is what Cannon Fodder 691 said.
God. Stop.
Damn dad jokes, knock it off.
And then when they were talking about the mugshots, all I could think about was like, it was Mouser Soze. It was Mouser Soze when he gets away.
I just remember the last they'll have some facts on the screen. It was the movie Valiant about the carrier pigeons during World War II, starring Ewan McGregor. And it said like so many carrier pigeons got these medals, so many dogs, and one cat got a medal. And I'm assuming it's because they strapped some C4 or TNT to the thing and sent it under a tank to just,
rub up against
to a cat. It's definitely running back to your house.
Maybe.
So just beware those cats, man. They could be dealing heroin and
one of the security dogs needs to escape and go with that cat, and it'll just be Homeward Bound 3.
What the hell is in his litter box? What are you eating?
Because all cats go to hell.
The other
that's the movie title.
No, it's all cats go to the slammer and then they escape. All right, the other somebody's got to talk about it story is because we're all beer fans here, and anytime you find something interesting and weird, we've talked about Oscar Mayer ice cream sandwiches. Well, Colorado brewery Oskar Blues partnered up with French Mustards to create a concoction billed as a tropical wheat beer brewed with French mustard and other natural flavors. It is a French mustard beer. It said, the guy that was tasting it said it tasted like drinking a hot dog and a fruit salad at the same time. There's an emphasis on...
Why is that a good thing? That's not a good thing. That's vile.
For everyone aspiring to be Joey Chestnut but just can't eat the hot dogs, you can go ahead and just taste it.
You should use it as a lube when he's doing the next one next year, Joey Chestnut. Instead of water, just
Yeah, and soda water. That shit.
Hey, that's your new 4D. Like when you go to Disneyland and you're watching one of those, they spray water and shit. That's how you do the hot dog eating contest next year. You chug a beer every time he eats a hot dog. You're there with them.
Exactly. It's
I've got a problematic relationship with mustard in the first place. I don't like it all that much. I just started liking it like a handful of years ago, and only in very small doses. I don't want my beer to taste like friggin' mustard. No.
Wait. Okay, so we should be talking about beer, but like there's so many different varieties of mustard. Like how do you not like I understand
I like a brown spicy kind of mustard if I'm eating sausage or something.
Right.
And honey mustard wings, fantastic. But French's yellow mustard, garbage.
Yeah. No, so what I was gonna say is Oskar Blues. I love that brewery. The one in Lyons, they have a couple locations. One in Lyons, Colorado, which is gorgeous. Just Lyons in it of itself is a gorgeous little town, very artsy, very fun. But yeah, that location is awesome. They have a pinball arcade in the basement. You go, just bring a bunch of quarters, drink some beer, play all the pinball you want. It's awesome. And they haven't disappointed. They had that pink beer, I think. I can't remember. Priscilla, that one was good.
Guess what? There's always one that disappoints, and I think we found it.
Probably. Well, that's the thing too, is these gimmicky beers kind of suck, but they're standard, like Dale's Pale, their Mama's Little Yellow Pills,
Their standards have dropped since COVID has happened,
But we're not talking about the other beers. We're talking about French mustard beer right now.
Yeah, that's...
See what COVID's affecting everything now. It's affecting our freaking beer. It's not bad enough that you can't have a hot dog with mustard on it, drink beer, and be like, okay, that's what it is. They actually merged those tastes together. Like, seriously, someone sitting at home and said, hey, guys, I got an idea. Let's make a beer out of mustard and hot dogs. That's a great idea. COVID rules.
Everybody wants to do a gimmicky beer now. Like, that's the whole thing, is like, how can we make this absolutely just ridiculous? And a lot of breweries are doing that. Yeah. And I think it's to make some, but what they were saying at the end too, if you're gonna do some beer brats, why not use that? Like,
yeah, I get that.
That would definitely be.
That's the one place that I would use that beer is if I was making beer brats. Absolutely, soak your brats in that shit. No problem.
Come on. If you were gonna eat, none of us said we'd do it, but heck, if you got the Oscar Mayer ice cream sandwich, this would be the perfect washdown of the.
So every time I'm thinking of this beer, seriously, I'm thinking of those scenes at the hot dog contest where they dunk the hot dog in whatever the hell they're drinking and it mashes. I taste that right now, and I've never had that beer. That's disgusting, man. So
in our chat room, we've got hot dog lube ? From Beacon. That's talking about the hot dog.
And like I said, hot dog lube is my favorite Van Halen cover band.
Cannon Fodder said that beer sounds disgusting. Jack is all aboard with mustard is amazing. Beacon says yellow mustard and Doritos. And Cannon Fodder says I'm picturing Cannon Fodder saying this in a very oh my god, I just forgot the who sings asshole.
Oh, that's Dennis Leary.
Dennis Leary, in a very Dennis Leary voice. I want my beer to taste like beer. Just like he wants his coffee to taste like coffee. So
did I miss a meeting about the coffee? You can get every other flavor. Flavored coffee.
I'm at this point where I'm thinking about it. You have that beer there and Natty Ice. I think I'm going with Natty Ice.
Well, here's the thing. In terms of
I would drink a past over that.
There was tasting notes for this. So it's got hints of key lime, lemon, tangerine, and passion fruit. Those were all there, but so was the distinctive zippy flavors of French's mustard.
It's a Hefeweizen with mustard seeds in it.
It says the mustard floated up inside my sinuses with every sip. This is from CNET, by the way, if you want to read the article. And here's the other thing. The beer is sold out online, so sorry, guys, you can't get it. But Oskar Blues made a homebrew recipe available with the PDF link.
I got a homebrew one too. You go to the store, you pick up the V8 Fruit Splash, pick up some Sprite or carbonated water to get the bubbly, and just pull in some French's, and you
need a lot of fruit puree and a decent glob of French's.
No, I'm a little confused because I remember specifically in junior high that science class telling us that one of the guaranteed ways to make somebody puke was to put a little bit of mustard in water and have them try to drink it. I tried it. I vomited. I don't ever want to do that again. Why is this thing intentionally taste like mustard? That's bad.
I don't know. Apparently he liked it though, and it made me want to try it because it's beer, and I want to try it just because it's beer.
Yeah.
Um,
No, it's a unique
curious.
thing.
I'm curious.
You go to Weldworks in Greeley, Colorado, about 45 minutes away, and they had a spaghetti flavored IPA.
I'd try it.
It tastes like,
beer.
oh, it's terrible. I had a taster.
try it.
Yeah,
It's
it
still
tastes
good.
like spaghetti. It tastes like just beer and spaghetti. Like no other weird fruit flavors. It just tastes like liquid spaghetti with tomato sauce.
I see people in some place grabbing a bottle and shoving spaghetti in the bottle, another person shoving a hot dog with mustard in the bottle. Here's beer.
Well, spaghetti bolognese. Yeah, the meat
They
chunks
made
in
sure
there.
to throw some hops and barley in there as well. So that's the end of the cast. So if you guys have any thoughts, if you're watching this on YouTube or you're checking us out on Apple, Stitcher, anywhere that you're listening, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking. Thank you for commenting. Let us know your thoughts. Drop them wherever you can. Or come join us on Facebook at facebook.com/groups/all things nerd podcast and let us know what your thoughts are on the specific stuff we talked about this week. And then come back and join us next Friday for another episode of wacky nerd, geek, and pop culture talk. But before that, let's talk about where you can follow everybody outside this show. We'll start with Aloni. I don't think she has anywhere to follow, but we'll let her tell you that.
No. Yeah, no, you can't follow me. I'm eventually gonna probably set something up, maybe.
Right after you try some of that beer flavored mustard.
Mustard.
Or
Beer flavored mustard. Now that would be okay.
Beacon said, Zorro, you just channeled the Johnny Cochran Wookiee defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never understood the Wookiee defense because Chewie did not live on Endor, so Cochran was alive.
Yeah, no, don't follow me. Give all the love to all the other guys. Follow them on Twitter. Make sure you go to the Malice Corp webpage at malice-corp.com. I don't know. Yeah,
Corp.com.
You
yeah.
gotta work on your selling skills there.
Totally got
A
that.
.org or a .edu.
Oh, it's definitely not either of those two. Because, geez.
I see Zora. Where can people go chit chat and interact and talk about stuff with you over?
I mean, if you still want to talk to me after this cast, God bless you. You can follow me at ICZorro on Twitter, Instagram, and PlayStation Network. So if you want to play Call of Duty with me, you can do that there.
Apparently, where he's from, at prison time, he's only allowed to call or receive calls between 6 and 7. So make sure you get those calls in.
Yeah, you're gonna have to trade me cigarettes for those games, though.
Masonic
David
Vader.
Lynch he was jar.
Where can people follow you, Masonic?
You can follow me at Masonic Vader 71 on PlayStation Network. You can follow me Masonic Vader. Also, a little added bonus. I am going to be streaming later on this weekend. I am going to, hopefully, if they allow me, Avengers Beta. I'm going to be streaming that, so you can check out some of the early gameplay on the PlayStation Network. So check me out. Probably somewhere around 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, depending on if I can find some of those mustard-flavored beers.
Just go get a bottle of French and just squeeze it into a Hefeweizen.
Or in apparently water, because that's what it sounds like. I think get away with mustard and natty ice. There's no flavor to natty ice or Coors Light or something, and put a little mustard, and you'll be good to go.
Might as well squeeze it into some nitrate.
A banquet beer.
Okay. If you want to follow everybody in this circumference of geekdom and nerddom and pop culture, head on over to malice-corp.com. That's where you can find previous episodes, listen to see some of the rantings and ravings of our writing and articles over there. You can also check us out on YouTube, on Stitcher, on Spotify, anywhere that you check out podcasts. We are there. Thank you for listening and thank you for subscribing. And as I said before, come check us out on facebook.com/groups/all things nerd podcast, and join us every Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern on Twitch at twitch.tv/Malice Corp. If you want to come chit chat with me and whatnot, I am on Twitter at @mest_Malice Corp or on Instagram at mest5150. That's all we got for you this week. Thank you guys for coming and joining us. We will see you next Friday. You keep nerding on and have a good night.
Stay nerdy.